What is up, guys? Tabby here, and welcome back to my channel. As most of you guys already know, if you've watched one of my latest videos, me and Leanda have finally revealed the secret project that we've been working on for over 6 months, which is a Harry Potter inspired magical readathon based on the Triwizard tournament. The Triwizard-a-Thon, if you please. And this is the video where I reveal the guidebook. Now, the guidebook is what is going to guide you through the Triwizard-a-Thon, and I'm going to go over every single page with you guys. But if you guys still have any questions by the end of this video, please make sure you leave them in the comments down below. Me and Leanda are planning on doing a live video together where we answer all of your questions. So definitely let us know if you have any in the comments. I think the biggest question is, when does this readathon start? This readathon starts November 1st, and it'll last all of November. So from November 1st to December 1st. Yes, an entire month to make it through this Triwizard-a-Thon. Me and Leanda definitely wanted to give everyone enough time to read as many books as they want. I mean, we all have busy schedules. Adulting sucks. So we definitely didn't want to make you guys feel rushed through this readathon. So yes, November 1st to December 1st. But now it is time to reveal the guidebook. I'm just gonna scooch it a scooch on over here, and the guidebook is going to be right here. And again, a very big shout out to Laura for designing this entire guidebook for us. She did a phenomenal job, if I do say so myself. So I did reveal the cover of the guidebook in my last video, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you guys again. I for real just adore the cover of this guidebook. This was the first page that we had completed, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the guidebook. And the next page just says the Triwizard-a-Thon was brought to you by me and Leanda, and again, illustrated completely by Laura. Y'all, I still struggle with her name. She did comment in the last video saying that I didn't butcher it too bad, so I appreciated that. And the next page is kind of just a little nod to one of the most made fun of scenes in the Harry Potter movies, and that is Albus Dumbledore in the movies asking Harry,
"Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?" No.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that scene from Harry Potter has the most memes made about it. So we definitely wanted to kind of do a little nod to that. But I mean, the question is, are you going to put your name in the goblet of fire? Well, if you do, just know that's that. No turning back now. And the next 2 pages are the table of content for the guidebook. We kind of designed this guidebook as an actual book. So as you see, the tasks of the tournament are actual chapters in the guidebook. And the next page, again, just has our Triwizard-a-Thon logo on there. And the next page is the word of welcome. This year, we have the honor of hosting a very exciting event over the coming month. It is our very great pleasure to inform you that the Triwizard-a-Thon will be taking place at Hogwarts this year. The Triwizard-a-Thon was first established some 700 years ago as a friendly competition between the 3 largest European schools of wizardry, Hogwarts, Beauxbaton, and Durmstrang. A champion was selected to represent each school, and the 3 champions compete in 3 magical tasks. The champions will be selected. An impartial judge will decide which students are most worthy to compete for the Triwizard-a-Thon Cup for the glory of their reading goals and over 2,000 pages. We, of course, had to give a little nod to the speech that Dumbledore gave in the books when he announced the Triwizard tournament, but with a little twist for our Triwizard-a-Thon, the glory of your reading goals. And the next page is the journey begins. A really cool thing about this page is that you can actually personalize it, and I'll get to that in just a second. The goblet of fire shines brightly. The bluey whiteness of the flames is almost painful to your eyes. Suddenly the flames turn red and sparks fly. A tongue of flame shoots in the air, and a charred piece of parchment flutters out of it. And as you can see, we have that little parchment on this page, so you can write your name on there. You've been chosen as your school's champion. And don't forget to document your progress through the Triwizard-a-Thon. Make sure you use the hashtag Triwizard-a-Thon on all your social media platforms. Okay, so the next 2 pages are the rules of the Triwizard-a-Thon. We're getting to the good stuff, y'all. The first rule is you need to read a minimum of 6 books to participate. The second rule is you can set your own pace as you go through the tournament, meaning you can read 1 book a week, 2 books a week, 3 books a week. You really set your own pace. The third rule is you start at the weighing of the wands. In order for you to advance, you should read at least 1 book, meaning that you can set your own pace through this readathon, but it has to be in order of the tasks. So you start at the weighing of the wands and you have to go through all of the tasks in order. No jumping around. The fourth rule is you can choose from the 4 prompts, each with a set amount of points. As you'll see coming up, each task has 4 prompts, and you can choose any of those 4 prompts for that task. You can pick just one of the prompts, or you can be extra and do all 4 of the prompts. It is totally up to you. And that is one thing I absolutely love about this readathon. It really is for everyone. Those who want to do a readathon but can't read that fast, you only have to read 6 books. But it's also for those who love readathons and have a few readathons under their belts. So if they want, they can choose to do all 4 prompts, which is 4 books for each task. That's a lot of books, y'all. So again, you don't have to do that, but if you want a challenge, it's definitely there. The 5th rule is in order for you to touch the Triwizard-a-Thon Cup Porky, you need at least 240 points. That way you get teleported to the graveyard. So like I said, every prompt has a certain amount of points. And again, it doesn't matter which prompts you read, but keep in mind, by the end, to get to the graveyard, you have to have at least 240 points. The 6th rule is it doesn't matter how you acquire the 240 points. Again, you can pick whichever prompt you want to read. You can either choose the hardest prompt for each task or go for multiple easier prompts. Keep in mind though that you need to read at least 1 book for each task to advance. The 7th rule is you can earn an additional 150 bonus points by completing the bonus task, which we'll see in a minute. And the last rule is once at the graveyard, you must complete all 4 reading prompts to survive and catch the Porky back to Hogwarts. As we all know, Harry faced the biggest challenge in the graveyard, so we definitely had to make that task the most challenging. Again, guys, if you have any questions by the end of this video, make sure you put them in the comments down below and me and Leanda will be answering them. But we are finally to the first task, the weighing of the wands, which was kind of a unofficial first task of the Triwizard tournament. We have to check that your wands are fully functional, no problems, you know, as they're your most important tools in the tasks ahead. A quote directly from the books. I love the picture we chose for this task with like the wands crossing. A fun little behind the scenes for all of the pictures for the tasks. Me and Leanda took all of these pictures, but Leanda like edited out the background and we were able to put them in the guidebook. The picture for this one, I have to say, is one of my favorites. I would love to know in the comments what your favorite is. But now to the reading prompts. As you can see, we have the 4 reading prompts and the point value for each one. The first prompt is a book set in a magical world, and this prompt is worth 10 points. The second prompt is a book in which a tournament is held. That is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book with an interview in it. That is worth 30 points. And the last prompt for this task is a book where a character wields a wand or a staff. I mean, and that is worth 40 points. We did think that one was going to be a little harder, so we definitely wanted to make that one worth 40 points. But that is all of the reading prompts for the first task. Again, guys, you do not have to read a book for all of these prompts. You can pick 1. You can pick 2. You can pick all 4. It is totally up to you. But keep in mind, you do have to get 240 points before you can make it to the graveyard. Okay, moving on to the official first task of this Triwizard-a-Thon, and it's dragons. They've got 4, 1 for each of us. and we've got to get past them. And the image for this page is the golden egg. But to the reading prompts, the first prompt for this task is a book with a dragon on the cover, and that is worth 10 points. The second prompt is a book with any type of flying. It can be flying a dragon or just flying a magical car. I mean, this is a Harry Potter readathon. There is a flying Ford Anglia, and that is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book that originated in a different country, and that is worth 30 points. This prompt was kind of a little nod to all of the different type of dragons in the first task. But the last prompt for this task is a book where a character has to collect an item or items, and that is worth 40 points. Again, we thought this prompt would be a little bit harder, so we definitely wanted to make that worth 40 points. The next task in the Triwizard-a-Thon is the Yule Ball, another unofficial task of the tournament. Traditionally, the champions and their partners open the ball. And the first reading prompt for this one is a book set in winter, and that is worth 10 points. The second prompt is a book in which a ball is held. That is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book with a love triangle trope, and that is worth 30 points. And the last prompt for this task is a book that has characters of different backgrounds coming together, and that is worth 40 points because the Triwizard tournament was created to bring all of us together. Moving on to the next task, we have the egg. You need to solve the clue inside because it will tell you what the second task is and enable you to prepare for it. Again, all of these pictures are from me and Leanda's personal collection, and this is also one of my favorites. But the first reading prompt for this task is a book in which a mystery is solved. That is worth 10 points. The second prompt is a book with a ghost in it, a nice little nod to Moaning Myrtle, and that is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book with a magical library, and that is worth 30 points. And the last prompt for this task is a book with gillyweed on the cover. Any type of weed will do. So really a book with any type of magical plant on the cover. And again, that's worth 40 points. But we have finally solved the riddle in the egg. Now it is time for the second task. And take our Wheezy back from the merpeople. The image on this page is actually one of mine. That is actually my gillyweed potion that I got from Grim Sweetness. I have almost every single potion she has ever made. I cannot recommend her shop enough. But the first prompt for the second task is a book set underwater. It doesn't have to be set underwater the entire book, but there does have to be some scenes set underwater, and that is worth 10 points. The second prompt is a book with a sea creature in it, and that is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book about abduction or kidnapping, and that is worth 30 points. And the last prompt, as usual, is our hardest. You have 24 hours to read a book with a minimum of 240 pages, and that's worth 40 points. Just like how there was a time limit in the books, there's a time limit for this. 24 hours to read one book. Can you do it? This is definitely a prompt that I'm going to choose because, again, it can be any book as long as it has a minimum of 240 pages. And I definitely want to challenge myself. Can I read an entire book in one day? We'll see. I've done it before. I can do it again. But now that we have our Wheezy back, it is time for the third task. The third task's really very straightforward. The Triwizard Cup will be placed in the center of the maze. The first champion to touch it will receive full marks. So we are heading into the maze. The first prompt is a book that got lost in the maze, aka your TBR, and that is worth 10 points. Now, if you're like me, your TBR has definitely become kind of like a maze that you never think you'll get through. Yeah, so this prompt is to help you pick a book that has been on your TBR for a while and finally get through it. The second prompt is a book with dark magical creatures, and that is worth 20 points. The third prompt is a book in which rivals team up to survive. Again, this can also kind of be an enemies to lovers trope, which is one of my favorites. People who hate each other but have to team up and end up falling in love. But that will be worth 30 30 points. And the last prompt is a book with unexpected travel, and that is worth 40 points. So any book in which the characters had to travel unexpectedly. Okay, so as you can tell, we're to the bonus task. Again, me and Leanda really wanted to make this readathon for everyone. So for those who are a little hesitant to do a readathon, either because they've never done one or they feel like they are just a slow reader, we definitely wanted to help you guys make it to the graveyard. So we created the bonus tasks to kind of help alleviate some of the anxiety that some people might have about not reading enough books or not getting enough points, because if you complete the bonus task, you automatically get 150 points. But the only way you will get the 150 points is if by this point in the Triwizard-a-Thon, you have read over 2,000 pages. Again, you have to go in order through the Triwizard-a-Thon. If by the time you get to the bonus task, which is this, if you have read over 2,000 pages, you automatically get an extra 150 points. So instead of having to read the 40-point prompts for all of the tasks or multiple prompts for each of the tasks, you can pick one of the easier prompts, but keep in mind, you will want to pick books that are a little bit bigger. You definitely don't want to pick books that are only 100, 200 pages. If you can, try to be like 300, 400 pages. That way, by the time you get to this point in the Triwizard-a-Thon, you will get 150 points. And just like a game of Quidditch, you will win the match. I love this page. Leanda actually came up with the bonus task completely by herself. So major prompts to Leanda: you are challenged by Crumb and his friends to a Quidditch match, Durmstrang versus Hogwarts. After playing for 40 minutes, the score is 120 against 70. Suddenly, you spot something gold, go into a spectacular dive, and catch the snitch. You earn 150 points and win the match. Again, this is just a fun little nod to the Harry Potter series. And I mean, I kind of would have loved to see a Quidditch match between Harry and Crumb. Seeker against Seeker. I kind of wish that would have happened. But yes, if you have read over 2,000 pages, you get an extra 150 points. Okay, so as you can see, the next page is the results. On 3, right? Said Harry. 1, 2, 3. And now we will see where you fell in this Triwizard-a-Thon. Did you win or did you lose? If you have less than 60 points, you encountered a blasted-ended Scroot and died. The only thing they found was a finger. If you have 60 to 110 points, you can treat yourself to a butterbeer at the 3 Broomsticks and vow to yourself never to enter another tournament again. If you have 120 to 170 points, you might have scorched a few hairs, been attacked by a Grindylow, and got lost in the maze, but at least you survived. Now, if you have 180 points to 230, you faced the Sphinx, solved the riddle, made it to the center of the maze, but the Triwizard-a-Thon cup was already gone. If you have over 240 points, you are the winner and touch the Triwizard-a-Thon cup, but you feel a pull at your navel. Hear a gush of wind. Suddenly you find yourself in a cold, dark, and moist graveyard. That is right, guys. If you have over 240 points, you made it to the graveyard. Dun, dun, dun. Did anyone tell you the cup was a portkey? Is this supposed to be part of the task? No, Cedric. Sadly, it is not, especially for Cedric. But the reading prompts for the graveyard, and again, you have to complete all 4 to catch a portkey back to Hogwarts. The first prompt is a book that is seriously dark. Pun intended. This book must be from the horror genre, which is my least favorite genre. I do not look forward to that prompt. The second prompt is a book from an author in the graveyard. Read a book from an author that has passed away. So any book that you want, as long as the author has sadly passed away. The third prompt is a book you've thrown into the cauldron and now have to resurrect. So any book that you have previously DNF'd. I haven't DNF'd a lot of books, and the ones that I have, Not gonna lie, me trying to reread them is going to be a challenge. Oh, this is a hard one. And the last prompt is a book that has been hit with the reverse spell effect, prior incantatum. Pick a previous book prompt worth 40 points. So for this prompt, you can pick any of the previous prompts worth 40 points, which again were the hardest prompts. I never said the graveyard was gonna be easy. But if you have survived the graveyard, you have made it to the end. The winner's ceremony. The end, said Dumbledore, looking around at them all, of another year. And then the next page just says, congratulations, you've completed the Magical Readathon. You've won the Triwizard-a-Thon Cup, the glory of your reading goals, and read over 2,000 pages. Thank you for joining us in this year's Magical Readathon. We hope to continue this next year. If you want to help us achieve this, just click on the links below. And as you can tell, we have the links to both me and Leanda's Patreon and all of our social media platforms. And the end. That is it, guys. That is the end of the guidebook. I hope you guys love the guidebook as much as me and Leanda. But again, guys, this Magical Readathon, the Triwizard-a-Thon, starts November 1st, lasts till December 1st, and the guidebook will be linked in the description of this video so you can print this and start picking your TBR. We definitely wanted to make sure you guys had plenty of time to pick out what prompts you wanted, what books you wanted, and have plenty of time to find all of the books. But again, guys, if you have any questions for us, let us know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to join my small community of Harry Potter lovers and bookworms. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. What is Merlin's pants? You know, I will say, every time that train comes, I get a drink of water. The train gives me my little filming breaks, and I should appreciate that more. That's how I'm gonna have to think about that stupid train. You give me a break. I just hit my teeth with the water bottle. Smooth. Kind of just a little wink, wink, wink. That was dorky. And the next page, the world. Only have to read 6 months. 6 months? Hey, I'm trying to finish filming.
I thought you were going to work.
I am. Bye.
Love you.
Oh my God, it's 6:14. I'm so late for work. Ooh.